Hi, Homeworthy. I'm Haley Weidenbaum. Welcome to my home in Los Angeles. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, my name is Haley Weidenbaum, and I'm the co-founder of Everhem, and welcome to my home in Los Angeles. We are currently in my home in LA, and our home is a traditional ranch-style home that we've updated to fit our modern family. My husband and I were looking for a family home that we knew we could grow into. When we purchased this home, we actually only had one child, and we knew that soon we'd want more kids, and we ended up having twin daughters. So we quickly went from a family of 3 to a family of 5, and this home is perfect. It can accommodate all of us. We knew we wanted to be in an area that catered to raising kids. So we wanted a more residential feeling, more suburban feeling in the city of LA, and we found that in this home. It feels like a tight-knit neighborhood where you know your neighbors, you can ask them to help you out with a glass of milk or to get your mail. We just feel so comfortable and cozy here. Welcome to our entryway. I love walking into our entryway because we have a few special pieces in this space. First off, we have a couple pieces from my childhood in this room. So this chair is actually from my parents' house, and I just sanded it down a little to make the raw wood finish come alive. And I love, it's like almost an art piece rather than a place we sit. And this rug below my feet is one of my earliest vintage rug purchases that I've ever made. And it's from a store in Seattle. And this piece is also vintage that I got at the Rose Bowl Flea Market, one of my favorite places to source vintage in Los Angeles. And it was originally like green, light green. And so we just sanded it down and put a nice finish on it. This little bench right here is actually from my childhood bedroom. And it's really special to me to have pieces that were at my home growing up in my family home today. And over here are our Everhem cafe curtains. And these curtains are actually from our new collaboration with Amber Lewis that just launched in August. And the cafe curtains are just like such a nice touch to have in a space, especially a window like this where I want the light to come in, but I want a little privacy. And sometimes we close them, sometimes we open them. I love seeing the light come through the curtains. These are unlined, but they still provide good privacy. Now over here is a bench that gets a lot of action in our house. We have 3 kids and a dog. Everyone basically puts all their stuff here when they get home from school, puts their shoes on. So this bench normally is filled with backpacks and shoes after school. Now we're in our formal living room, and this space is so welcoming. It's in the heart of the home, so we're always walking through it. So I added some really special pieces that I've collected through my life as a designer and just lifetime. So for example, these little wall hangings, I got on a trip to Washington, and I always buy a little piece of something I can add to my home when I'm on vacation because it allows me to remember those memories. And being able to incorporate items from all over the world on our travels just makes the home feel eclectic and special. If we walk over here, you'll be able to see more of the Everhem cafe curtains. We chose this beautiful pattern called Marguerite, which is also from our new collaboration with Amber Lewis. Because I own a window treatment company, I have put many different types of window treatment on these windows. We've had shades on here, we've had woven wood shades, and now we have cafe curtains. And again, I love the addition of cafe curtains because it just adds this element of charm to the space, and it's also unexpected. If you walk over here, you'll be able to see another piece that I got when I was in Seattle. On that same trip, I got that vintage rug, and I got this really special desk. And what I love about this desk is I feel like it has a story and history, and I want to know who used to sit at this desk and write at this desk, but just having this old wood in this house is just so special. Having this wood in this house really provides a depth and warmth to the space. When my husband and I saw this house, we first fell in love with the molding and all the intricate woodwork that was already here. And the ceiling, most of the ceilings in this home aren't just flat ceilings. They're A-frame, they have beams, there's beadboard, there's intricate wood detail that just adds so much interior detail into a space that you really can't get anywhere else. In this part of the formal living room, we have, a wonderful console that I adorned with some of my favorite design books from some of my favorite interior designers. Below the console is another Rose Bowl flea market find, where these kind of like vintage wine crates. And as you can see, I love incorporating like wicker and wood into anything. I think it brings such a nice warmth to a space. So I also included these sconces from Serena and Lily, and they're a raffia. They're so beautifully manufactured. You can see every piece was wrapped around the sconce and complements with the brass. I'm a really big believer in mixing metals and woods and woven materials. Throughout this room, you'll see a mix of all those materials. This string art behind me is from a wonderful artist named Lauren Williams, where she creates these huge tapestries out of string art. And I bought this, I think like 8-9 years ago, and I love it. Every day I walk in, it just brings me so much happiness. And if you walk over here, I wanted to show you this beautiful metal sewing table that I also got on one of my Rose Bowl flea market finds. This honestly has been in 7 different rooms in the house, and I think it's found its place right here. I love the muted green color and the wear and tear on it, where it's just patinaed to a perfect color, and it looks like something that's been around for decades and decades. These chairs, actually, I bought in our first home, and I was so happy that they worked out here. They're from Cisco Home, which is a wonderful furniture company here in Los Angeles. And the craftsmanship is just beyond. We've had these chairs, I think, for 15 years, and they look as good today as the day we bought them. So over here, you'll see a few beautiful, rich, warm pieces that really tie the room together. So this coffee table, again, is from our first home. And all I did was sand and stain it in a dark wood, so it worked better in this style home. And it's like a beautiful shape that you really can't get anywhere else. The rug is from Leloy. It's also from the Amber Lewis collection. I knew that everything would tie together because of Amber's distinct style. So with our Everhem curtains paired with her Leloy rug. And this chair is another item from my home growing up. My parents didn't want this chair anymore, and it used to be upholstered in a very vibrant floral pattern. And I decided to reupholster it in this like velvet, amber, marigold mohair. And it's one of my favorite places to sit in the morning. This sofa is a classic tufted Chesterfield sofa, and it's from Restoration Hardware. And when I originally bought it, it was in like a sage green velvet. And we moved to this new home. We reupholstered it in a classic white linen and put an eclectic array of pillows from, we have pillows from McGee & Co. and Leloy. And what I love mixing pillows is like, I don't want all the pillows to look the same. I like mixing patterns and textures to layer on top of each other. And it just makes it feel like inviting and cozy. Above us, you're gonna see a chandelier, also from Serena and Lily, that pairs with our sconces. And again, it's this beautiful raffia with the scalloped edges on the end. And it's adds in a really beautiful element of surprise when you add in this like wood woven material. Again, above the fireplace, a Serena and Lily mirror that we have that same color and tone and wood that we pulled together. And this fireplace is a main focal point in the house. We actually have like 4 fireplaces in this house, which in Los Angeles, that's really rare to have. We do actually use the fireplaces, and it's a real wood burning fireplace. Nowadays, when you build new construction, you can't have a gas fireplace. We feel really lucky that in the winter, we light it. The smell is amazing, and it's a really nice way to feel cozy and comfortable with the family. And above the mantle, just some personal pieces and some decorative books, family photos. I don't have a ton of family photos in the house, but when I do put one in, it's always in a really special frame. Next to the formal living room is our dining room. And it's really nice is we don't have like an open concept house. Everything has its own distinct spaces, but we have these big open doorways, again, with the beautiful wood molding that just makes it feel elevated and fancy, almost like you're on the East Coast at times, where you have this paneling. And we have a huge table, as we have a big family. This dining table is actually from Restoration Hardware. And I recently sanded it down. It used to be a really light wood. I sanded it down a little bit and added kind of a touch of a darker finish on it, and also a seal on it, because I have young kids and you need to protect the furniture from the kids. Instead of doing all the chairs the same, I actually have 3 different style chairs. So at the heads of the dining table, we have these beautiful cane chairs with arms. Caning is one of my favorite design details that you can add to a room. And as you go around the table, you'll see a different style, like a classic bistro chair, that it all ties together because of the same finish, but they're different designs. And then again, back to the caning chair, but without the arms. I chose to do every other and bring some like variation and versatility to the space. Above us is a very traditional chandelier with the cloth lampshades, but with this brass finish that tie into all the other light fixtures in my house that are a variation of brass. Over here, we kind of have a fun console that typically when we're using the formal dining room that we use to put as a buffet to put food on. But when we're not hosting, I like to decorate it with some fun candles, make it feel a little bit more formal. And we did get these candles that are colorful to add a little fun to it. So we actually just painted this dining room. We had a wallpaper up in the dining room for about 8 years, and I was ready for a change. So we went with a color from Farrow & Ball called Brinjal. It's like this aubergine eggplant color. It's really rich. It's really warm and welcoming. When you walk into the dining room, even though it's next to the living room that has white walls, this room kind of gives you like a nice welcome hug when you come in. And the main reason we changed the color on the wall is because we installed Everhem curtains in this paisley fabric from our new collaboration with Amber Lewis. And when you have a really strong pattern like this, a solid pink color is the best choice. But what was great is that we pulled out a color from inside the paisley in the center of the flower, and it really matches the paint color beautifully. Another really great feature of the window treatment is that it has this beautiful overlay that adds such a cute little charm detail. Not a lot of drapery has this, so we're really excited that at Everhem you can get this overlay drapery. So these sconces have actually been in my life for about 15 years. They're from a store called Schoolhouse Electric. A lot of the sconces in our house are from that company, and they're just, everything's like a little different style, but what I love is all the brass is patinaed at the same time, so it really looks old and vintage. This credenza piece is another piece from my home growing up. My parents, again, didn't want it anymore, so I took it off their hands. And this piece houses like all our fine china and stuff, and it's really beautiful, and it has this beautiful detailed tassel in the pine wood. Just really works well with the dining table wood. The last item in this room is a decorative basket that actually housed plants. It's vintage. This piece was given to me by my parents. It was in their home. In my home growing up, I did not put plants in it because it would have to be fake plants because it's no longer waterproof, but I love the addition of the wicker, again, tying in all my like wicker, bamboo, raffia details. I first started my career as an interior designer in my early 20s, and now about 15 years later, my style has really evolved and changed. I have always loved vintage furniture. So I try to incorporate like vintage traditional pieces in all of my designs, and I like to repurpose. So 2 years ago, this sofa next to me was in another room, and I like to move things around and repurpose things in my own home instead of buying new all the time. I even love to reupholster chairs, reupholster sofas, paint walls, add new wallpaper to kind of reinvent my spaces every few years. And as an interior designer, I'm just always inundated with like new things that I see that inspire me, and I love to try that in my home. My company is called Everhem, and we are a custom window treatment company. I started this company with my husband about 6 years ago, and I was a working interior designer, and every project needed window treatment. And the process was so confusing for my clients and myself. And I knew I could start a company that did it better. Better customer service, better curated options, and all around just a better experience. So we started Everhem, and we offer custom drapery, shades, woven woods, and café curtains. And today you'll see a bunch of our window treatment throughout our home. I forgot to show you the most important part of this room is Ruby, Ruby, our little puppy, who's actually 13 years old, but she's always a puppy to us. She's always next to me, walking anywhere I'm walking. So she's gonna take us into the family room next. So this is our family room, and this is probably the most used room in the house outside of the kitchen. And Ruby loves to curl up on the sofa. The sofa, we have 2 matching sofas in here that are the Cloud sofa from Restoration Hardware. And they are the most comfortable sofas in the world. Just like the name describes it, the Cloud, it feels like you're sitting on 2 clouds. It's very hard to get up from these spaces once you're laying down. This room gets so much light. We actually don't have any window treatment in this room, which is quite ironic considering our company, but we love when the light floods in. The detail of the beadboard on the walls was already here when we moved in. One of my favorite parts of this room is the ceiling. It's got vaulted ceilings with beautiful beams, and we put up this light fixture that ties in that woven wood material. Underneath the light fixture is a large coffee table. There was once a world where I had a bunch of books and accessories on this table, but right now with the kids, we can't have much, but it's a great landing space where we can come and put, our drinks down, put puzzles and toys down, and it's such a great kind of landing area for everyone to surround and play games. Behind us is some really cool art that I found from a store called McGee & Co. And it's these framed oars that it already came framed. And I knew that I needed art that was really tall, and I didn't want one big piece. So I was lucky that we found these oars that was the green and blue and white colors worked perfectly with the overall design of the room. And these sconces right next to the artwork are actually from Etsy. And they're a really interesting design. They have this like pulley system that I don't think I've really seen anywhere else. This side of the family room has another fireplace, which is actually the backside of the fireplace in the formal living room. What's really wonderful is that this fireplace has this brick that we painted white, and we, again, I think we use this fireplace more than any fireplace in the house because we're all sitting, watching TV here as a family. And above the fireplace and just to my left is all this wonderful decor items that are just items that we have sourced and purchased throughout our lives. And what I love is that I change this maybe every year. I take all the accessories in the house and I like to redesign my shelves so that we don't get bored. We like to see new things that we haven't seen because they've been in a different room. So everything here is from, a family trip or sourced from a vintage store or family photos from our engagement or our wedding. And it's just really beautiful memories that we can look at every day. So one of my favorite pieces on our shelves is this large vintage teapot is what I would call it. It's from a company called St. Frank. And the artistry detail and how it's painted is really what I was drawn to. And the deep blue color, because this entire room, I wanted blue to be the primary color in here. So all the accessories have a hint of blue. The probably most used thing in this room is the TV, and it's a frame TV, which I love because you can put a piece of artwork on here so it looks like art. And my kids like to change the artwork every month too, so it's really fun. These chairs are actually from Target. They're from the McGee & Co. line from Target. And what I love about them is that they're indestructible. The kids sit right here, they eat on these chairs, they watch TV, and we don't worry because they're Target chairs. The rug below my feet is another Laloy rug. What I love about the rugs at Laloy throughout my home is that they look and feel like true vintage rugs, but they're actually imitation of vintage. And Laloy has done a beautiful job of providing rugs that you look at it and you think it's vintage. You think it could be thousands and thousands of dollars, but it's actually not. And it's really affordable. And in the stage of life that we're in with dogs and kids, we can't be so precious with our rugs. And so I'm really lucky that we have a rug that looks so beautiful. My favorite space in the house is our kitchen. I actually renovated it about 18 months ago, and I was thrilled to put my own personal touch on the kitchen. And what was really special is that we had lived here for almost 6 years. So I got to understand exactly what I wanted the kitchen to look like and how my family used it. So I custom designed it to our needs. Now we're gonna go into the kitchen, which is my favorite space in the house. Now we're entering the kitchen, and one of my pride and joy are the cabinets. They are built by a company called Unique Kitchen and Bath. They are a wonderful company to work with that make your design dreams come true. I had a couple design meetings and they gave me some wonderful renderings, and the renderings look exactly like what things look like today. It is a wonderful company. And what we did here is that we have an island, a 10-foot long island in this wood finish, paired with back cabinets that are painted in Faro and Ball shaded white with brass handles from Rejuvenation. Another, I actually would say maybe I sometimes can't choose what is my favorite, the cabinets or my stove. This stove is a dream stove that I always wanted. I love how it looks vintage and has the brass handles, and it works really well. So we probably use this stove and oven every day cooking here. When I designed this kitchen, I knew I wanted to do a Calcutta marble that had some veining in it, but it was very subtle. And I also knew that I wanted the backsplash to go up the back in the same material. and a little shelf where we could put oils and salt and pepper and the things we use when we're cooking. And I think it just is a timeless design. What I also love about this kitchen is the fixed shelves. So my old kitchen had the classic lower and uppers, but when I redesigned, I wanted to kind of get rid of the classic upper cabinets and instead do open shelving to house fruit and cups and platters that we use every day. I also incorporated some design items that are there just to enhance the space, make it feel lived in and eclectic. I have a couple pieces here that I recently got from a trip up to Yosemite. This is like a vintage needlepoint that has this like picturesque little house on it, and it just makes me smile every time I see it. Other little accents that I have in here are all the same bowls from Heath Ceramics that you'll see throughout my kitchen. I love this kind of earthenware material in a cream color. It just goes with anything. They're so durable and easy to design with and easy to eat and drink with. This island, when we designed it, we used to have an island here that was like 7.5, 8 feet. When we redesigned the kitchen, we decided to do a longer island and only incorporate bar stools. We don't actually have a kitchen table in here. My kids love sitting up at the bar stool, and we have a seat for everybody in the family. And these bar stools are from Crate and Barrel with the Jake Arnold collection. And we actually paired it with 2 pendants also from Jake Arnold's collection at Crate and Barrel. And the use of like the woven wood here, I love incorporating into a kitchen because you have so much hard surfaces. You have the cabinets that are hard and all this marble. So the wood and woven material softens the look and adds like such a nice layered pieces. We have cute little kid table for my twin daughters who eat here and have tea parties. It's just a sweet little touch. Another thing I love about these cabinets is that I really wanted to like hide all the appliances and hide things that I don't want seen, but when we need to use things, we open it up, and in here we have some glassware and a little TV. My go-to design tip is to live in the space. If you're able to move into your home and live in the space before you fully decorate it, it really allows you to understand the scale of the house and how you use it so that the pieces that you buy for your home last a long time. Off the kitchen, we have a really cool room. It's our billiards room. Come on in. So welcome to our billiards room. This is a really fun room in the house. We actually do know how to play pool. My husband's really good and I'm learning. We added some seating in here so when people are playing pool, you can sit down and enjoy the game. This bench fit perfectly here, and it's actually from World Market. And I really love designing with like high and low pieces. So we can have like a bench from World Market or chairs from Target paired with like a vintage, beautiful billiards table. So it's really cool how we mix the highs and lows in our house. A really special piece of art that's above this bench is a gray Malin. And this is actually an overview shot of the Four Seasons in Maui where my husband and I had our honeymoon. So it's really a special piece for us. You can see books in here, and my husband collects records, and he has this cool record player that nobody in the family is allowed to touch because it's so special. But we like to play music, and we have it on the sound system, so it's really a great space to hang out, play pool, listen to music. We even have a dartboard. This is from actually Restoration Hardware, and it's used quite a lot. So some of our favorite records are the classics, the oldies. We are huge Billy Joel fans, so I think we have every Billy Joel album, and I think we could listen to it every day. My husband's from Long Island, so he has a deep and strong connection with Billy Joel. We have a lot of classic rock, Beatles, Michael Jackson, Prince, a lot of just the classics. Honestly, I don't think he has too many of new popular music. He might have a Taylor Swift album in there for me. So on the other side of the room, we have these built-in cabinets that were here. When we moved in, this whole room was white, and my husband and I wanted like a muted, like gray blue color. But what's really cool is we decided to color drench the whole room. So that means we've painted the walls, the ceiling, the cabinets, the windows, all the same color. It really provides like a dramatic scene for the room, and it's unexpected. And I think a lot of people don't realize, like, you can paint the whole room, every square inch, the same color. And it can be a bold color, and it still works really, really beautifully. The windows here are obviously adorned with Everhem Roman shades. This is in our color ash, and it's from our Essentials line. It's a linen cotton, it's structured, it's beautiful. It really has a nice subtle color to it. We didn't want anything too bold because of the bold paint color. So we actually have another secret room within the billiards room. Can you guess where it is? Let me show you. So welcome to our Speakeasy. So this is a special room in the house that we actually designed ourselves during COVID. When we moved in, this was an empty room in the house. They staged it as like a massage room. It's just a kind of a weird random room. You know, old homes, they were built, maybe this was like a small bedroom or something. So we lived here for about 4 years, and during COVID, I think we weren't going out. So we're like, let's bring the fun here. So this space is my husband's dream speakeasy. As an interior designer, I have a lot of opinions, but I really wanted him to be my client. So he told me he wanted dark marble. This marble has got this beautiful black onyx base with white veins, and it's the finish is a leathered marble, and we integrated it into the sink, which just gives it this like seamless, cool vibe, paired it with dark faucets. And again, like the kitchen, we continued the same material up the back. In the back, you can kind of see hints of gold, which is really nice because it ties in the other light fixtures in the room. And we installed this shelf, which is great for displaying alcohol. And just behind me, we have a little bench because we knew we wanted more than just my husband and I in this room. So we've probably had like 8 to 10 people in this small space, but everyone has a seat. And we have 2 bar stools. These bar stools are actually from CB2, and they, again, pulling in this caning that I love. And the cushions themselves are in a beautiful black and white houndstooth that just give it this kind of like elevated, stately vibe. When designing the space, my husband knew he wanted a neon sign that called the bar Negroni Bar. The Negroni is his favorite drink, so he knew he wanted to call the Speakeasy that. So we got a custom neon sign made, and then this wallpaper is from House of Hackney that my husband found, and he fell in love with it. And it has a little pink on the background with these green trees, and it is whimsical. It's like a fantasy land. I think when we step in here, we feel like we've like entered a different world, a different country, and it's a really nice way to escape your normal life, chill out, have a Negroni or a glass of wine, and relax. So we added a gallery wall and some art in this room. This also is Gray Malin, like the piece in our billiards room. And the pictures above here are his collection at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And I grew up right in Beverly Hills. So this is sort of a nod to my childhood and the iconic hotel design there. And on the other side here, we do have a window in this room, which is nice to provide light, but my husband really wanted it to feel dark. So we paired it with our onyx woven wood with blackout lining. So a lot of times we close the window, we can close the door and really feel like we've transported ourselves. We decided to tile the floor in the Speakeasy and not continue the wood, just to really differentiate the spaces. And we fell in love with this tile from Clay Tile. It's this dark weathered black brick style, and we put it in a herringbone pattern. And it's just like, we like to color drench a room in the same dark color, but we use different materials, so it gives it dimensionality. When we moved into the house, it had like normal white switches, and my husband and I have always been obsessed with these vintage looking switches with the gold plates and these buttons that actually twist and turn to dim. So when we did a little small renovation of the kitchen 2 years ago, we decided we were just gonna change all the switches in the house. And it really made a huge difference. Like, it just gives the space like a unique, detail-oriented surprise that like everyone's not expecting. And we love how the brass patinas over time, and it just looks like it was original to a home from the 1900s. Home means to me comfort. Anytime anybody, from my kids to my husband to somebody visiting my house, I want them to be able to step through the front door and feel comfortable. Everything is decorated and thoughtfully chosen, but I want you to feel comfortable walking in, taking your shoes off, sitting on the sofa, and enjoying spending time here. Thanks for coming, Homeworthy, but I gotta get back to work designing curtains. See ya.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.